As the wars of drumbeat louder and louder, Iran has now added a new warship to its navy capable of carrying drones, helicopters, and missiles for long-range use. This as the rumors of war continue. RT correspondent John Huddy is joining us now with more on some tough talk coming out of Tehran. John, what else can you tell us about Iran's new ship?
Well, it's a 492-foot vessel that Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps showed off this week, kind of a show and tell, if you will. It was decked out with some drones, some helicopters, surface-to-air missiles, and anti-aircraft missiles as well. It was also, according to the video and what we saw, carrying several small patrol boats that the Revolutionary Guard uses in the Persian Gulf, and that U.S. warships actually have come across several times, including recently. To be clear, the ship is not an aircraft carrier. Yes, it does carry some helicopters and drones, but it doesn't have a runway. It has a landing pad for a helicopter. If anything, it can be described as kind of a amphibious assault ship, but frankly, that would be even a stretch. It looks like more, according to the video, that we're all looking at, it looks like more a retrofitted oil tanker. Still, Iran military officials described it as a, quote, long-range ocean-going ship. So it's the latest to their overall navy. The show of force, if you want to call it that, comes as the rumors of war continue, as you mentioned in the lead, Manila, fueled by reports this week, as we reported here on In Question, that President Trump recently considered launching an airstrike on Iran's nuclear facilities, along with the threat of an attack possibly by Israel on Iran, with President Trump's backing before he leaves office. On that note, General Hussein Dagan, he's a military advisor to Iran's supreme leader and a possible Iranian presidential candidate in 2021, talked about the possibility of war in an interview with the Associated Press. Listen.
A limited tactical conflict can end in a full-fledged war, and definitely the Americans, the region, and the world can't tolerate such an extensive crisis.
All right, Shalom. This is Harawan Banyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, Le Yahweh, Ba'ashim Hawashai, Ba'ashim, Harakak Wadash, Mama. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. And also, shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim that show support to this page, man. So anyway, let's get into it. So now, you heard on the news clip, of course she messed up in the beginning. She said the wars of drums, but put the drums of war. They're beating right now, all right? Now, and she said there's wars, talks of war, and rumors of war. They kept saying it, man. The reason they kept saying it because the prophecies are speaking. All right, it's happening right now. Meaning it's kicking off, all right, the beginning of sorrows. But of course, the war is not going to happen until the chip gets pushed on a world scale. And that's happening too. So we in the last days, man, we almost out of here. All right, that's what it means for the hopeful elect that have been pushing. But for the rest of the world, it means their demise and their destruction. And nothing but sorrows coming unto them. So this is Mark 13:7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and that's what we're hearing. We're literally hearing that right now. We're hearing of wars and rumors of wars, talks of World War III. Talks of the President Trump talking about striking Iran before he gets out of office and leaving a bad situation for the new president, creepy Joe Biden. So basically, it don't matter if a woman in office, Biden's in office, Trump's in office, Kanye West in office. It don't matter who the hell get in office. There's going to be World War III because it's according to prophecy. All right. Now, and when ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet, man. So all these things have to happen. They have to begin so they can get to their climax point. All right, it's starting off with proxy wars. Now there talks of wars, and America stepped out of the JCPOA agreement with Iran, you know. So they stepped out of, I think it was a P1 plus 5 or some shit like that. But they stepped out of the agreement, and now they still want to control Iran as Iran enriches its uranium beyond the levels of what they're supposed to be at, dealing with the nuclear enrichment deal that America was in with Iran, that America pulled out of. They tore the contract up. But now they're saying, hey, man, you're in violation of the contract. See that? That's why America's called the whore, the Babylon confusion. Okay? Hypocritical nation. But there's wars and rumors of wars, man. For such things must needs be, but the end is not yet, shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. All right? And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles in the midst of Jacob's trouble. These are the beginning of sorrows. Sheesh. So these are the beginning of the plagues that the Lord is going to bring on this earth. And the ultimate, the end all be all is going to be that nuclear fire. The Lord is going to let them missiles be shot off from these nations onto America, which is called Babylon in the scriptures. Revelations 11 and 12. Now, according to Ezekiel 38, which I probably do a lesson on in a few minutes, Yahweh Ratazah, Ezekiel 38, it speaks about the war of Armageddon, which turns into a hot war as World War III. All right, Armageddon and World War III are two different things, but they coincide with each other. Armageddon represents a regional war fought over there in and around what Esau calls the Middle East. All right, a world war is when all the countries start getting involved in continental areas, like around the world, and shooting missiles and traveling to fight. And Armageddon represents that regional war that's going to break out and turn into a hot war of the nations. All right, so Revelations 11, and I'll start from 12. And they heard a voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And that's going to happen someday. You know, that don't mean pack your shit up and go over there to Israel with Ben Amin and all them and join the Israeli army. That's not what it's talking about. What it's talking about is come up hither means in that day when we're crying for help to get out of here, right? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is going to send his angels, and the Lord going to say, okay, bring them up. Psalms 91, you know, go ahead and get them out of there. Okay, when the reapers shall do their reaping and gather up the elect. So that's the voice that's going to say, all right, green light, go get them. Go gather up the elect. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. So each one of the children of Israel around the four corners of the earth are going to ascend up into chariots. All right, so if you're looking out on the street and you saw a bunch of your friends getting different cars, you'll say each one of them got into a car, you know? So you're speaking of plural, but it's talking about cars, you know? So what? They ascended up to heaven in a cloud. All right, so they're going to be up in the chariots, and the chariot's going to take them to Yahushua, and it's what's called the barn or the giant chariot, the fathership. All right. And their enemies beheld them. In the same hour was there a great earthquake. So within that same time, he said in 1 hour, this place is going to be thrown down. So in that same hour, there's going to be deliverance and salvation and destruction, the world, the missiles. All right. The same hour was there a great earthquake. Scriptures say the earth shall reel to and fro from the missiles. And the 10th part of the city fell, meaning parts of America, all right, because America is going to be divided up. And it said the 10th part of the city fell, meaning a big portion. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. That means an innumerable number. All right, is going to be slain from the missiles. Basically, everybody that's not written in the Lamb's book of life, they're going to be destroyed. Scripture say the slain of the Lord shall be many. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, man. All right, so that's basically going to be the end of the Second World War, which we're still kind of finishing out. They're phasing out all these different contracts that they had, different treaties that they had set up since World War II. You know, you still got the situation with South Korea and North Korea since World War II. So they still at war. It's just once some missiles or certain proxies are moved out of the way and they turn into a hot war, it's officially World War III. All right. Once World War III kicks off, America's going to lose instantly. All right. It's going to be judgment from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So all this is according to prophecy, and these things have to come to pass. So, hey, man, stay watching. Probably do another lesson in a few minutes, go in more detail. And, hey, man, stay focused, stay prayed up, because the prophecies are happening. This is Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, man. We in that appointed time. All right. The scripture said there's a time to hit, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to die, a time to kill. And we in that time of war. All right. And that's what's coming. And a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones. And we represent them stones that have been cast away. And Yahweh Ratazah will be gathered. And we're being gathered in the spirit. But Yahweh Ratazah, we're of that chosen elect. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Just like World War I, World War II, they started with appointed times, man. All right. I think the guy named that started World War I was Gabriel Principe. All right. And all right, so he was an assassin that killed, I think it was Serbian king. It's been a while since I checked into it, and that's when Kaiser Wilhelm, all right, Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany, he started the war. All right, so that was an appointed moment, appointed time where they poisoned King Ferdinand. That's what it was. King Ferdinand got poisoned by this guy named Gabrielo Principe. And that started the war. So it was a precise moment, a precise interaction to where it was all under tension and during World War I. You know, I think around 1914 and 1918. I had to go back and look at the dates. But when they started the war, it was already tension. You had Germany under Kaiser Wilhelm building up his Navy fleet, giant Navy fleet, man, and getting ready for wars, man. And that's what happened. So now you got all these nations under tension. China, Russia, America, Iran, Turkey, North Korea, South Korea, India, Africa. All these nations are under tension right now. Saudi Arabia, Palestine, right? So the Lord got them all on edge. And the scriptures say what? All those that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows. All right? Prepare yourselves round about. And that's what's happening. They're all uniting against this place. So the vision is yet for an appointed time that the Lord set. And scripture say he comes as a thief in the night. But our job as watchers are to watch for signs like this and warn our people to what? Get ready. Put on the full armor of the Lord and praise him because he's about to deliver us. All right. Major deliverance, like when he brought us out of Egypt. When he delivered Sodom, what's his name? Lot out of Sodom. All right. So this is about to be a major deliverance. That's what we need to focus on. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end, see, that'll let you know we're at the end. It shall speak and not lie. So it's speaking. You cut on the news clip, she's saying as soon as it come on, wars and rumors of wars. It's like, yo, that's a prophecy speaking right there. All right. It shall speak. At the end, it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.